Billboards gone wild. 4,000 illegal billboards choke LA's neighborhoods. Is City Hall corrupt or just inept? By Christine Belichick. Shortly before Thanksgiving, a furtive crew of workers for LA Outdoor Advertising poured a cement foundation next to the Harbor Freeway and anchored a huge metal structure into the wet cement. A few days and roughly $100,000 later, the crew had erected LA's latest illegal billboard atop an equally illegal 10-ton superstructure that can be removed only with a wrecker. Adding insult to injury, the whole thing was built in full view of the windowed offices of Los Angeles City billboard inspectors, a tiny and some say incredibly inept group who are failing in City Hall's purported effort to find and remove an estimated 4,000 illegal billboards blighting LA. So pathetic is the battle against outdoor advertising companies that the massive billboard went unnoticed for months by leaders at City Hall, including big-time billboard proponent and council member Ed Reyes, in whose district the sign sits. It was left to irritated commuters like pissed-off clutter critic Dennis Hathaway, who spoke up at a January public hearing, where city engineer Eric Cabrera called LA Outdoors policy stunt and, quote, egregious disregard for the law, end quote. Onlookers recall that when an attorney representing LA Outdoors stood to defend the sign, Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety Commission resident Marsha Brown, a political appointee of Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, spat, quote, your clients should go to jail, end quote. But Brown's comment was just talk. The mayor and Los Angeles City Council have let the billboard industry flout the law, in this case a flat-out 2002 ban on new billboards, so openly that activists in other big cities laugh out loud when they hear the latest tales. Quote, your business people need to speak up, end quote, Margaret Lloyd, Houston's leading anti-billboard activist, declared, while giggling over how incompetent LA leaders are. Quote, everyone loses, end quote. Indeed, for its crime, LA Outdoor was, quote, cited and ordered to take down the illegal billboard, quote, immediately, end quote. 5 months later, the billboard still looms large. City Hall has caved to outdoor advertisers for so many years that the LA Outdoor is touting the illegal billboard in a photo array on its website, a bleak reminder that billboards run amok here and their owners enjoy impunity. Quote, I have gone past the outrage phase. Now it is just absurd, end quote, says critic Hathaway, pointing to the 60-foot high tanker truck-sized billboard near Albany Street in 12th Place, south of downtown. Quote, it's obvious that companies feel it's worth the cost, or they wouldn't be keeping it up, or keep doing it. Jesus, that's Hollywood, hold on. Quote, it's obvious that companies feel it's worth the cost, or they wouldn't keep doing it, end quote. What cost? Billboard companies reap roughly $14,000 a month in easy money from the double-sided standard size 14 by 48 foot billboard that costs about $50,000 to $80,000 to build, and they earn up to $125,000 monthly from, quote, digital billboards, oil wells in the sky that, when fully leased with ads, will earn $1.34 billion a year for LA's billboard giants. These riches will flow to the very firms that have vociferously fought paying a single penny into an annually modest $168 per billboard municipal fee, which their lawyers hammered down from $314. City Hall politicians know there's just one way to wrest control of the streets, by getting their hands once and for all on the inventory list of the owners and locations of thousands of billboard companies, illegal billboards, and then forcing the companies to remove them. That hasn't happened. Not under Mayor Richard Riordan, not under Mayor James Hahn, not under Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa. Today, Villaraigosa, City Attorney Rocky Delgadillo, and City Council President Eric Garcetti are utterly in the dark about the list, the actual locations and owners of illegal billboards. Only two elected leaders, council members Jack Weiss and Wendy Gruhl, make it a point to express public outrage. The Department of Building and Safety officials don't even enforce the $186 inspection fee on each legal and illegal billboard, enacted 6 long years ago under the Hahn administration and long resisted by several firms. Clear Channel Outdoor, CBS Outdoor, Vista, and others use the legal systems as a decaying tactic, filing lawsuit upon lawsuit. City officials so badly fear the wrath of the billboard companies that they resisted giving LA Weekly basic public facts about the existing legal and illegal billboards. Plenty of the U.S. cities have required the firms to hand over their inventory lists, a necessary step before activists, neighbors, and inspectors can ID and dispute illegal billboards. Houston forced its billboard companies to hand over a list, so did Philadelphia and San Francisco. Florida's Department of Transportation obtained its list in 1972. But in Los Angeles, the newspapers had to hire a First Amendment attorney to obtain simple information for the quaking workers at the Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety, a taxpayer-funded agency that deals almost exclusively with public data. For months, department spokesman Robert Steinbeck refused to talk, behaving as if he were protecting the national security. Unlike Houston, Philadelphia, Tucson, and San Francisco, and in Los Angeles, big and small outdoor advertisers often ignore the ban on the new billboards or blatantly blow past restrictions on their existing signs, illegally doubling the size or adding a second face. The bizarre lawlessness has gone on so long, City Hall has no idea if the estimated 4,000 illegal billboards are even safe. Keith Stevens, owner of an LA Outdoor, who erected the illegal billboard just before Thanksgiving, insists he used legit building inspectors to assure its safety. The real reason he built it on the sly was to poke City Hall in the eye for blatantly rewarding the owners of potentially thousands of illegal billboards. His much richer competitors, Clear Channel Outdoor and CBS Outdoor, quote, all the city is doing is handing the keys to the two companies, quote, end quote, huffs Stevens. Billboard activist Hathaway says that in a normal world, quote, an inspector would have had to look at the excavation and sign off before any concrete was poured. There's no way to know if it has the proper structural integrity and won't topple onto the freeway, end quote. But this is not the normal world. Los Angeles is an unregulated, out-of-control playground for the illegal billboard industry, second to no other urban area in America. For instance, Vista Outdoor 3 years ago admitted that there were, quote, unable to locate, end quote, permits for 500 smaller billboards and agreed to take them down. But Los Angeles building officials openly admit today that they have no clue whether they were removed. 10 years ago, Regency, another billboard company, accused Clear Channel of reaping $5 million from illegal billboards. Punishments for Los Angeles Outdoor has never, or was never, in the cards. Jail? Laughable. Villaraigosa, Delgadillo, and the city councils are, in fact, doing the opposite. They are richly rewarding three billboard firms, CBS, Clear Channel, and Regency, quietly letting them erect 877, pulsating, ultra-bright, light-emitting diode advertising signs in dozens of unsuspecting neighborhoods citywide. And now, a month after Councilman Ray's proposed a windfall for billboard firms, a new sign district allowing mega signs downtown, City Councilman Herb Wesson is demanding a much bigger special district in Koreatown. One big reason the City Council is so keen to create special sign districts filled with street clutter. Richard Alarcon, Tony Cardenas, Eric Garcetti, Wendy Gruhl, Janice Hahn, Jose Huizar, Tom LaBonge, Bernard Price, Jan Perry, Ed Reese, Bill Rosendahl, Greg Smith, Jack Weiss, Herb Wesson, Dennis Zine, and the mayor have all accepted campaign funds from the industry they have failed to regulate. The digital billboard makeover of Los Angeles was concocted behind closed doors by Delgadillo a little more than a year ago and approved with little notice by the city council. As a result, few Angelinos realize that these animated billboards visible for more than a mile are coming into their areas. Those who do know are furious. Quote, it's as if someone's plasma TV is outside our window, end quote, says Roberta Dax, who is fully 10 blocks away from the hyper-intense LED billboard that suddenly appeared at Cahuenga and Barham Boulevards. City leaders from Garcetti to Delgadillo call the garish displays, quote, modernizations, end quote. Is chronic incompetence or indifference at City Hall to blame for what is now unfolding? Could long-rumored but never proven corruption be playing a role? With Angelinos about to get an eyeful from 877 LED billboards, those questions take center stage in a battle over billboards gone wild. The current billboard battle dates from the 1980s, when the city council aide Cindy Michkowski Michikowski, sorry about that, and her boss, the late Councilman Margaret Broad, tried to ban new billboards. They failed, but made small inroads. Quote, I told him we were making progress, end quote, she recalls. Quote, there was no reason we needed more billboards, end quote. But the construction union showed up in the city hall chambers to complain that they would be unemployed. With historic highs in murder and street crime unfolding in the 80s,